What a football game in Atlanta. The 4, Arizona State against Texas, who had knocked off Clemson in the 1 competitive and entertaining first game. There's Cam Skattebo. I think a nation was introduced to number 4 if they weren't already familiar. It's 3-0 Arizona State. They drove nicely down the field, got some points, and then in the blink of an eye, Quinn Ewers, Matthew Golden, that's 54 yards. Sark in his bag early. Boy, this scripted stuff. Just keep doing this, Texas, right? 2 plays. DeAndre Moore, 41 seconds. That's the fastest opening scoring drive for a team in the college football playoff era, 7-3. After the Sun Devils go 3 and out, Silas Bolden fields it at his 25, makes a man miss, and right about here, yeah, you could hear da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Sark giving some love to his guy. It's 17-3. It looked like Arizona State's going to get boat raced. But Kenny D's guys, they signed up for 60 and then some. There goes Sam Levin. Sun Devils threatening, and they drove repeatedly. But now on 4th and goal, this Texas front, whether it was against A&M, whether it was against Clemson, or here, you try to run into the heart of them, fellas, good luck. That was a 4th and 2. Skattebo does not get there. But then the Sun Devil defense here, Shamari Simmons, difference maker. And as the Ewers-Wisner handoff goes sideways, that's 2. Okay, but at some point you're going to need 6. Well, just like Ohio State, throw it to 4, give it to 4. Skattebo, he's puking on the sidelines. He's battling his butt off. 3rd and 13. The sack of Levin. Sun Devils add a field goal. That's been a struggle throughout the year, the kicking game. Arizona State, 38 plays in Texas territory. Texas had just 27 plays total. 17-8. This is a big 3rd and 10. Ewers throw to Golden. Texas in the red zone. 3rd and goal. Got to hold them to 3. You have to figure. But there goes Quinn. Puts his head down, dives to the paint. It's 24-8. And at this stage, it feels like it's probably a Texas win. Now 4th and 2. They pitch to Skattebo. He throws it up. Malik McClain is on the receiving end. They go for 2 and get it. Go ahead, empty the quiver or whatever the hell it's called. It's 24-16 after they get the 2. Now if you get a stop, you got a chance. Well, they're going to get that stop because Ewers is picked by Javon Robinson. And now Arizona State with 5.5 to go. Clean pocket. Skattebo. He waits for contact. Get off me. Head gets... Well, his head didn't get... It was his helmet that got ripped off. It would have been problematic if it was more than that. Skattebo scowling at the world. Give him the ball. He puts his head down. He's into the end zone. Obviously, you got to go for 2. And naturally, it's Skattebo into the end zone. This game is tied at 24, and the cutaways of the Texas fans were remarkable. They're thinking, this cannot happen. Well, you're driving to get the win. Golden again, and Texas getting closer. Ewers, 3rd and 15. He ducks his head and scrambles. They clock issues there, wondering how you're going to handle this. 4th and 10, they bring on the kicker. He's a good kicker. Auburn, oh, he misses it wide right. Arizona State now has a chance. 3rd and 15. Big hit. Melquan Stovall gets hit. Michael Taft. Now, naturally, Twitter said either it's textbook targeting or it's not. Passionate feelings on both sides. They review and said that's not targeting. Kenny Dillingham cannot believe it. Arizona State has to punt. That means Texas is going to have a chance. Ewers, Ryan Wingo in the middle of the field, and they are in position to walk this thing off. Sarkisian gives his guy Auburn some love. Snap, hold, kick. It's hooking, and it storks off the upright. And now we're headed to overtime. Incredible drama in Atlanta in overtime. It's 3rd and 14. Levitt out of one tackle, out of another, puts his head down, bowls his way closer to the goal line. Next play, Skattebo hit at the 3, turns his back over. One of his linemen just picks him up and drags him into the end zone. That's Kyle Scott helping him out. Extra point good. It's a 7-point lead. It's 4th and 13. Ewers gotta have it. He delivers. It's Golden. How do you lose Golden in that moment and let him get deep? They tie it at 31. First play of the second overtime. That Arizona State defense may be emotionally and physically gassed. Gunnar Helm, he's an excellent, excellent playmaker. They get it and they get the 2. That means Arizona State has got to answer. Levitt looking and picked Andrew Mukuba. Mukuba is there, and Mukuba and Texas win this absolute battle. Sark and Texas have another opportunity. His thoughts on this incredible win.
What a game, and first of all, ton of credit to Arizona State, Coach Dillingham. They came to fight. They showed fight all for 4 quarters, and we knew that coming in, and boy, they exuded it. As far as this team goes that we have, you know, I never question their resiliency. When adversity strikes, we always respond, and it struck a few times tonight. And one thing I know is our guys will be at their best when their best is needed, and we needed it there in the overtime phase, and it sure was amazing. I felt like I was watching March Madness, like an NCAA basketball tournament, with all the swings going both ways.
Disappointed we couldn't win the football game, but I couldn't be more proud of our guys. They battled from the beginning of the year. Like I said, I got to put our guys in better positions to win this football game. And there's many things I could have done that could have helped us do that.
ASU's changed my life forever, in a good way. Simple. They've supported me through everything, put me in a position to be successful. So I thank everybody in the ASU community and, you know, Coach Dillingham and his staff and this kid next to me right here. They changed my life forever.
That's really like the March Madness, man. You think about when the young men and young women have to leave the arena, boy, the palpable energy there. And we've got some stuff with Dusty that we're going to get into. I just want to start with Skattebo. Just watching him play. What'd you think of the effort that young man put forth?
Warrior. I mean, unbelievable. You said it. Left it all on the field. Everything inside of him. 284 total yards. Yeah. Running it, catching it, throwing it.
Throwing up it.
Whatever he needed to do to help his team win. And he, like you always say, he's not going to be denied. He was not going to be denied in this game. I have so much respect for Kenny Dillingham, that football team, the way that defense played today, the way they continued to answer the bell and fight. And the ringleader of all was Cam Skattebo. We've seen a lot of lopsided games in this college football playoff. Yeah. Like, we needed that to kick off 2025. That was awesome. You showed the graphics, the peaks, the valleys, the swoons of that game, and just the way it all came down to the end. As college football fans, that was a great way to start the new year.
And Texas earns this victory, and, you know, Texas fights, a fitting analogy or a fitting, like those are the words of the fight song, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm interested in this. The college overtime, thank God it didn't get to the third thing with the 2 points.
You would have lost your mind, I think.
I really don't like that. I'm not fond of the 2-point conversion settling a game. As it turned out, it did not. But I'm interested in this. After Ewers hits that 4th and 13, Arizona State's defense has to turn right back around and go on the field, and it's a first-play score. I mean, what's cooked into all of those moments there from what you watched?
Well, and as a defensive player, that's tough. I mean, you go right back out there. You're already a little bit tired. You're a little bit defeated. You felt at that point at 4th and 13, you were going to win, and now you had to go get a stop. And
are you going to bust it out?
We're going to bust it out, Scotty.
Screen?
I watched this on TV. All right, so here's the 4th and 13.
Okay.
Got to have it. Let's start this thing off. And where I want to start, look at Quinn Ewers, calling, talking. Now watch the center, Jake Majors, because what do you have to do to convert on this? You got to protect. So you're going to take a look at it. We're going to have 5 coming in this simulated pressure, and we're going to drop 1 guy out. So we're going to have 5 in the pressure, okay? We're going to take a look at this, let it roll here. We're going to have 2 safeties at the top of the screen. We'll get a better look at it from the back end of this. But you got to have the pressure, and you got to give time for Quinn Ewers to protect. Okay, so as we take a look at this, it's going to roll here. You're going to see DeAndre Moore. He's going to sell this corner, and he's going to go to the post, and you're going to have an out route right here from Moore. Golden's going to sell to the post, and you're going to have Moore. We'll let it roll for a second. Right here, when Golden sells here, look at Simmons.
Yeah.
Look at Simmons right here open up.
And he's excellent. Such a playmaker
Simmons
for them.
is. And now take a look at Alford up top, your safety. He's got eyes on the quarterback, okay? His man is the tight end. He stays in. So now he's your post safety. Isn't getting depth. He's staying right here. And his eyes, Scott, are here. As this route comes here, he's going to take one step forward, and the middle of the field is going to be wide open. You asked earlier, how do you let somebody behind him? That's how you get your eyes in the wrong spot, and then it opens up. Now, here's the first play of the second overtime. You just give up that big play over the top, that big deep shot, post route. You got to come right back on the field. And what does Sark do? He cooks it up, man. He's going to go play action, a little boot, and a little tight end delay from his man, Gunnar Helm. So he's going to work up here. Okay, we're in match 3 over here, right? So these two are locked up on each other, okay? This boundary safety here, he's going to be your fat player outside, and this will linebacker, he's going to be your hook curl defender. The problem is, Scott, when you get play action, watch this.
He climbs the pocket a little bit, doesn't he?
Watch this. Yeah. Watch how he comes here, and now all of a sudden Gunnar Helm's hill. You have your boundary safety try to make up for it, try to get back over the top, but it doesn't work out. Gunnar Helm is open. You see Quinn Ewers there climb the pocket, see his open tight end, hits him in stride, strike up the band, Texas wins. That's Steve Sarkisian in big moments, dialing up the right plays. And it's also Quinn Ewers, man, to overcome the interception that he threw in that fourth quarter, to bounce back, be able to make those throws in a big spot. I thought he stepped up big time when he had to, and they executed to perfection, backs against the wall, and they had to have it.
There was a lull in this game, as there has been for Texas throughout the season. I'm going to get to that a little bit later because we're going to have an opportunity to talk Cotton Bowl, Ohio State, and Texas. I don't think they can afford that against Ohio State if they're going to play the way they did. But there was a play there, and we showed it in the highlight, that clearly had a whole lot of conversation around it, and that was targeting or not targeting. And I want to just get your assessment of it because this is my opinion. If that's a 1 o'clock window game between a couple of ACC or any conference or whatever, I don't care who it is, that's targeting 100 times out of 100. It wasn't in this case. What'd you see? What'd you think?
I thought it was targeting. Michael Taft's a fabulous player. His story is incredible. He's second-team All-American. But I thought it was targeting in the moment. I picked up the phone. I made a few phone calls. I talked to Bill Lamagna, who I think is one of the absolute best, works for us, ESPN, ABC, as a rules expert, and he said, verbatim, it's a defenseless player. There was an upward thrust indicator, forcible contact to the head or neck area. It's targeting. And so we heard Matt Austin on the call. He thought it was targeting. We go through these seminars and before the season as analysts that call games, and we're always looking at different plays. That looked to me to be the letter of the law, targeting. But having said that, even if they call the targeting, it doesn't guarantee Arizona State wins that game.
They're 4 for 12 coming into this game kicking, and they had one blocked and missed another, correct?
And that's right. And Arizona State was in a position when we just showed.
Right, 4th and 13.
They're up by a touchdown. It's 4th and 13. They still had their opportunities to win that game. That doesn't absolve the fact that, to me, that should be called regardless of the situation. But is that the reason Texas won, Arizona State lost? Absolutely.
No, but it's just this is conversation that every fan out there is having in real time. And so to hear that the rules officials are saying, look, that's targeting, and help me understand something, because where this gets gray for me is, does intent, because I don't feel like there was intent there, but I don't know, does it matter in that situation if there's that kind of head-to-head contact?
It doesn't. And again, and also, he's a defenseless player. Right. So he's protected. So that's where it's, if there's forcible contact to the head or neck area, it's different because a lot of people say, we hit him with his face. Yes, he did.
Right.
Crown of the helmet is something different. That can be, applied whenever he's not a defenseless player. You can't ever use the crown of your helmet. So, and I'm a defensive guy, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fighting for there not to be so many targeting.
Of course.
And I think that the punishment is far too punitive. But in that moment, on that play, I don't know many people. I was shocked. I don't know how you felt when they went to replay.
When they said it wasn't, I'm like, wow.
I was very surprised.
But I think more than one thing can be true simultaneously. Often is the case. It would have been a bummer for a game to end on a penalty because that's just as a bummer for that to happen. But if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. And I think cosmically, the fact that in the end it does end up in overtime, and then both teams had opportunities to win it. All things being considered, that felt like the appropriate way for this game to end, not on a call or a non-call. And Arizona State had an opportunity. They just didn't get the stop on 4th down.